Getting what you're saying, say it again. Aren't you my friend? So why you hating? You say you be playing. You hurt my feelings.
What's up? Hey you guys, welcome back to your girl Starryluuv channel. In today's video, I am telling you a story. I know this is my second story time, but we're gonna jump right in. And this is the story time about the time I was a cyberbully. For years, since I started my YouTube channel, every time I asked like what kind of story time you guys wanted or whatever, like people I went to high school with would always ask me to tell you guys this story. I really held back because I'm like, I don't know if I want to tell this story, but I've reached a point in my life where I feel like being open and honest and sharing experiences could possibly help other people because you never know what somebody else is going through. Also, a couple months ago, I did see a post from a girl that went to my rival high school in regards to cyberbullying, and I was like, you know, maybe I should tell this story. At the time, I still didn't tell the story, so I'm going to tell you guys the story now. So sit back, relax, enjoy the story time, get your snacks, get your popcorn, get everything, because you about to be one for a ride. You about to hear what I gotta say. Like, are you ready? Are you ready? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay. This story time took place when I was a junior in high school. So I was never like the popular kid. I was never like one of the cool kids. I was really the artsy lame kid. I wouldn't call myself lame in real life, but like people considered me lame. Also, I wasn't a rich kid. I wasn't well off. So like I wasn't walking around with like flashy name brands. That wasn't me. And even till this day, it's still not me. Like I'm not really into designer clothes. But if I do have some designer stuff, and that's cool too. But life ain't about designer. So all through high school, from freshman year all the way through junior year, I was bullied. Like, kids would make fun of me. Like, I remember one time I wore bear paw boots because I remember my mom, I told her I asked, she asked me what I wanted, and I said I wanted Uggs, and I guess money was tight at the time, so she turned around and bought me bear paws. And myself, like, I don't want to say ashamed, but like looking back, I guess I was ashamed to walk around with bear paw boots. But like to now, I'm looking at like, bro, it's brick outside. If I'm gonna cover my feet and protect my feet and keep my feet warm, I'm gonna throw the damn boot on. You feel me? So like, at this point, it doesn't really matter to me anymore. But back then, like, I was really self-conscious, and it was like I didn't want another thing to build up for other kids to like bully me or whatever. So like I really took things people said to me to heart. So I remember when my mom gave me the boots, I was like, thanks mom, like, you know, you gotta show that you're appreciative. I'm like, thanks mom or whatever. And I would wear the boots, but anytime I wore the boots, I never wore my uniform skirt. Main reason why I didn't wear my uniform skirt is because like if I did wear it, that means like the label on the back would show and like the little bear paw on the side would show, whatever. And I didn't want to be made fun of. So I wore the bear paw boots to school, and I remember one day like chilling on the train to come back home, I had like cocked my feet up on the couch, not the couch, on the seats. And I remember this one girl in my class, she was like, are those bear paws? Bro, I took my feet down so fast, like, so fast. Like, and I even got emotional about it because I'm like, yo, like, they make it seem like name brands and things are like so important in life. Bro, the richest of people don't even flash name brands. You feel me? So like, what you gotta front for? Plus all the kids I was fronting with all this gear, like, you didn't buy it yourself, your parents bought your gear. And if you did buy the gear yourself, you was either scamming or selling stuff on the side. I'm just saying. So we're gonna jump straight into the story. So like, this is one of the things, like, I'm just giving an example of like how I was bullied in school. So many things kept on happening. Like, people would say things, I would say things back. I remember there was something called Form Spring I remember, was it freshman or sophomore year? No, sophomore year. Form Spring, like, was like this big thing, and like people would ask anonymous questions, and I always got bullied on my Form Spring. And then there was an Ask FM, and like kids would just say like terrible things about me or ask me like terrible questions, and like I would like brush it off, I'll just respond back to it, but like I was really hurting on the inside because I'm like, yo, y'all really smile in my face every single day. I don't know exactly who's asking me these questions. Like, I was like really like self-conscious. So The thing that tipped the iceberg, I remember one day in gym, kids were always getting robbed anytime we had gym class. Like the locker room, if you went to my high school, like you know what I'm talking about. There was a locker room upstairs, which is a girls' locker room, and the locker room downstairs was the boys' locker room. And I remember one day my mom gave me like, I think it was like $100, and she was like, after school, like go buy some clothes or whatever, go buy shoes or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Kept it on me because I didn't trust people in my school, and I'm like, you know what, if I put this money down, somebody's gonna go into my stuff and take it. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just wear it around school. But when gym came, like a dummy, I forgot the money in my blazer, and whoever went to the back, because when you come through, when you're in the gym, there are like these 2 doors at the back, and those doors are closed half the time. At one point they were always closed, but then after like theft kept on happening in the school, they told, like, I guess they told the gym teacher to keep the doors open. So at this point the gym doors were closed. I remember after gym, 2 kids came back and was like, yo, my money's missing, my wallet's missing, blah blah blah. And in my head I'm like, yo, please don't let this money be missing, because like I don't know how hard my mom had to work to get this money, to give me money to buy something, you know what I mean? So after gym class, I go to the back into the locker room, and I go into my blazer and I check, bro, the $100 was gone. Like I was bawling, I was in tears, like it was so bad, like terrible. So I go to the principal and he goes, oh, I'll buy you lunch when lunchtime comes. How is buying me lunch going to like suffice for my $100? Like, let me know. PMO, put me on. Like, how? So I'm like, okay, you can buy me lunch, but I still need my $100 back because I have things that I have to get after school. So I never got my money back. Nobody else ever got their money back. Like, it was a whole thing. And then it kept on happening. Like, I would have money in my blazer, I'll have money somewhere, money just gone. People used to like steal my textbooks, my homework. I would turn in the homework to teachers, and teachers would be like, yeah, I didn't get the homework, you didn't turn anything in. And it's like I was failing certain classes. Although I do believe like some teachers were throwing out my homework, I don't care. Like I really do believe that y'all would throw my homework out, okay? If you watch this, you would throw my homework out, sis. So I would turn in my chemistry homework, gone, deleted. Oh, you never turned this in on this day. And I always made sure like I wrote down what homework I completed, what homework I didn't complete it. And from since I was little, I would always have like a notebook where I would write out my homework first and then write it over on the paper to turn in, because my parents raised you with this thing where like when you're doing homework, it has to be turned in neatly to your teacher. So anytime my teacher said I never turned in homework, I would check that book and I'm like, no, I turned this in. And it's like I would have to constantly like return in assignments. And it was annoying afterward. After a while, I just didn't care no more, because like I know I turned it in. My mom saw me do the homework, so like you can't tell me I didn't turn my homework in. You feel me? So that happened. I'm in art class and we had a painting to do. I had to finish the painting, and like the teacher allowed us to like take it out of class so like we could finish it wherever. I ended up finishing my painting. I think it was either watercolor or acrylic, I can't remember, but I know that I didn't get to the point where I could have sealed my painting with the clear, I can't remember what it's called, but with the clear paint. So I turn around and I go to my locker after one of my classes, or was it lunchtime, and I see like, oh no, my locker got flooded out 3 times. That's what happened. My locker got flooded out 3 times. And I went to the principal and he's like, oh, I could buy you lunch. And we're going to call my principal Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob always want to offer somebody lunch. When I say that this principal had no backbone, like no backbone whatsoever, how is it you going to keep offering people lunch? Like lunch not going to save my life. If y'all watch my old story time on my iPod, like he offered to buy me lunch. Like it doesn't help. So I'm frustrated now. And then on top of that, one day in gym class, somebody poured water in my boots. Like it was just constant things consistently happening. And it's like, I'm not getting room to breathe. Nobody's doing anything about it. And I promised my mom when I came out of grade school, I would stop fighting, because anybody who knew me before high school knew that I was always fighting. I was always getting suspended from school. I had great attendance, great grades, but it was me fighting that was the problem. So now I'm in high school. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to go to high school. I'm going to turn a new leaf. I'm not going to fight anybody, nothing. So I poured water in my boots. They destroyed the painting. The painting is what tipped me off. And being that I'm always been a quiet person, like I would sit down and I observe. Like when I walk into a room, I observe. Like I always pay attention to everything. So even though I wasn't like the popular kid or like nobody really talked to me, I did have friends, but my friends weren't in all my classes. So like some classes my friends weren't there, whatever. So I always paid attention to things. Like I always hear things. I was friends with guys, so like if guys mess with girls, like certain guys would mess with girls, like yo, I mess with so and so. Like I always had the tea, like always had the tea. And I never did nothing with the tea because I didn't feel like I needed to do something with the tea. You feel me? It was just tea. So I'm sitting down, I'm fuming because I know that if I go to my art class last period, because I always had art last period, if I go to art last period and I can't turn in my final painting, I'm going to fail my art class. And being as that I'm an artist, failing art class would have killed me, like literally killed me. Like I would have been completely distraught, like upset. So my mouth is dry, let me get some water. So I don't remember if I skipped art or I went to art, I don't remember, but I know that I got a bad grade on that and I went home pissed. Locker got flooded out, everything. Like when I say my shoes were flooded, the only thing I had were like a pair of like little kitten heels in my locker. I don't know why I had kitten heels in my locker, but I had them in my locker. And those were the shoes I wore home with my gym uniform, my basketball shorts and a t-shirt, because my entire uniform got drenched in my locker and I had to take it home. So I get home, I'm in the middle of, was I doing trig? I think I was doing trigonometry homework. And I remember I had like this little white Acer laptop, like you know those little portable laptops that like you could have taken anywhere. I think it was like I want to say no bigger than like 10-12 inches. It was like one of those small little white Acer laptops. And I remember that my sister and my mom were sitting in the living room. So I'm sitting there, I'm supposed to be doing my trig homework. Somehow I ended up on Facebook. This is where the cyberbullying situation comes into play. So I'm sitting there at the dining table and I'm like, you know what? In my head, these are my thoughts, okay? I don't curse, but these were my thoughts in my head. I was like, you know what? Since nobody want to own up to anything that they've done to me, I've gotten robbed, I've gotten water poured into my shoes, I've had my locker flooded multiple times, my final presentation destroyed, telling the principal, telling anybody, nobody do nothing. I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. Now kids or whoever's watching this, I don't suggest that you do what I did, but this is what I did. So I sat down and I created a brand new Facebook profile. I named the profile Lizzie Rumor. The reason why I named it Lizzie Rumor is because at that point in time, like even though Lizzie McGuire, the show, had finished, I was still like watching old reruns, and I think I had watched a rerun before I started my homework that evening. And since it was a rumor page, I was like, you know, I'm gonna just name it Lizzie Rumor. Also, what clicked in my head too is I remember like months prior, I think over the summer, I was at my god brother's house and my god sister was there and we were talking about like how her school, because she went to, I think, did she go to Erasmus? And people were like doing rumor pages and like they were just talking shit about people on social media. So after she said that, I was like, okay. But at this point in time, when I made my page, 3 other rumor pages had already passed through our school, like my school. So mind you, I went to a private school, so it's not like we went to public school and like this shit was the norm. This wasn't the norm at all, okay? So I'm sitting there at the computer and I'm like, bro, 3 pages happened already. And every single page that popped up, they always talk shit about me. Oh, Star's broke, Star's this, Star's that. Star always thinks she's something. It was always something garbage. And I remember at one point in high school, I had liked this boy. And on every rumor page, they mentioned his name and mentioned my name. And then another page, they like created a love triangle with the 3 of us. And I'm like, bro, ain't nobody checking me for real? Like, you know? So I sat there and I created the rumor page. And this was my tactic. So I have a cousin who is a hacker. He works for like gaming companies. So like he knows his way around cyberspace. And he told me, he said, if you have, because this is back in 2000 and, was it 10 or 11? Between 2010 and 2011, this is when this happened. And my cousin told me that if you are doing something that you shouldn't be doing online, like you want to post something or whatever, if you create something and you have it up in the window between 30 minutes to 45 minutes and you end up deleting it, wiping your hard drive, and changing your IP address. Yes, I did all of this. They can't trace it back to you. Like, there's no way they can trace it back to you. So I'm like, I bet. In my head, I'm like, all right, Star, you're gonna create this page. You're gonna put all that you know that's Carfax. Like, I didn't put up nothing there that wasn't a lie. I mean, I said a couple disrespectful stuff, but we're gonna get into that. So I start the rumor page, and I can't remember my first thing. I don't remember the first thing I said because iPhones weren't out then. So like, iPhones were out, but screenshotting and stuff, like, I don't have those screenshots. So I put out like 3 rumors, and my tactic to make my rumor page hot was I knew all the popular kids in the school. I hate the word popular so much. Okay, we're gonna call them the lit kids. You know, I knew all the lit kids in my school were, right? So I basically only added the lit kids in my school. So by doing that, they're the ones who are gonna like create the buzz on Facebook, and they're gonna create the buzz in everybody's ear. They're gonna be like, yo girl, did you hear blah blah blah, like somebody created another rumor page. And that's kind of what I wanted, because I wanted everybody to see what I had to say. And then when that 30 minutes came, it's clipped, like everything was gone. So I did that. I talked about a teacher, because it's the same chemistry teacher who was playing with me from my sophomore year of high school, and this junior year now, she's been playing with me, and everybody always had the joke where like, yo, sis really needs to get laid. So that's what I said on the rumor page. I was like, we're gonna call her Miss Beckett. I was like, Miss Beckett needs to get laid, in all caps. I said, I can't remember what else I said. Oh, I talked about a teacher's daughter, because she's the one who poured the water in my boots and never wanted to admit to it, because she was in the locker room when the shit happened. So I said that about her. No, I said that she wanted to get, I'm gonna have to bleep this out, but she said she wanted to get some guy. And I just posted everything up there. Like, I want to say it was maybe over like 40 rumors, and it wasn't rumors that were seen on the other 3 rumor pages. So like, because the other 3 pages recycled rumors, my stuff was like, yo, we haven't heard this before, we haven't heard that before. I'm not even gonna repeat all the rumors that I put there, because I do remember a few, but like, it's the past, so I'm not gonna bring that to light. Like, it's not that deep. So I'm just telling y'all what I'm telling y'all. So at this point in time, I had a timer going on my phone. So when I saw 30 minutes hit, I was like, okay, it's clipped. It's time to just shut all down. Deleted the account. I created a fake email and everything, bro. Like, they couldn't trace nothing back to me. Deleted the account. Deleted the email address I created. Wiped the hard drive on my computer, because I didn't really have anything on that computer. That was just my homework computer. Wiped the hard drive and changed the IP address. Did all that under 40 minutes. So that's done, and then I go back to my Facebook page, and I see everybody from school wilding and talking about this. Even saw a couple teachers making statuses about it in the USM page, United Student Movement page. I saw all of that, like, whoever's doing these rumor pages need to stop, blah blah blah. So then I'm like, all right, bet. Maybe things might change. Although nobody knew it was me, I just felt like, you know, since the buzz started, like, people are not gonna really have time to like check and pay attention to Star, like, flood out her things again. That was my thought process. Although it was stupid, but that was my thought process. So I go to school the next day, and I'm sitting in trig, and I'm quiet. Like, I'm always quiet in class, but like this day I was like quiet. So I'm sitting in the class, and I'm sitting with my 3 friends, my god brother and my 2 friends. Although me and one of the girls aren't friends anymore, but it was my god brother and 2 girls. So I'm sitting with them, because we were sitting in like groups of 3 or 4, and we're doing our work together, and they're talking about it, and I'm like, can we not talk about this? Like, we already have rumor pages, like, what's so special about this one? Trying to like take the heat off of it or whatever. So like, this one girl who's one of the lit kids in the school, or the lit kids, one of the lit girls in my grade, she goes, I feel like Star made the rumor page. And I turned and looked at her, I'm like, why would I make a rumor page, girl? Like, what's wrong with you? Why would I do that? She's like, I just feel like you did it. She was like, you're always doing something. Bro, I never did nothing, okay? Like, I really minded my business in school. So I'm like, girl, I ain't do nothing. And after that day, bro, for the next 2.5 weeks, I promise you, all we watched in class were like suicidal videos. Like, I remember I went to my U.S. history class, and my teacher legit went to YouTube and put on cyberbullying kids, like cyberbullying suicide letters or whatever. And you see mad little Caucasian girls and Caucasian little boys get up on the screen, read their suicide notes, and then I basically like take their lives. And I'm sitting here like, bro, like, y'all really dragging it in this school. Like, y'all dead ass dragging it. Y'all didn't do none of this when the first 3 rumor pages was posted up. You feel me? So, like, I'm sitting there and I'm really watching this. My mother is paying $500 a month. A month. Okay? And tuition. She's not paying for me to come to school and watch suicide videos. She's paying for me to come to school and get an education, okay? An education. Like, education now. Get connected. You feel me? So I'm sitting here, I'm really pissed. Like, this joint dragged out for 2 weeks. I'm seeing every other class, every single class except for my my economics class. And except for my economics class and my art class. Everything is about suicide prevention. We even had chapel services about suicide and cyberbullying and stuff, and how they're getting the feds involved to crack down and find out who posted the last rumor page, blah, blah, blah. I'm guessing they were trying to find somebody to take the fall for all 4 rumor pages. Bro, was not going to fly with me, okay? So I'm sitting there in class, and I'm really pissed because I'm coming to school to get education. We got regents coming up. We got finals coming up. And I'm not going to be well prepared to take these tests, although I do get test anxiety. I'm not going to be well prepared to take these tests because y'all not teaching the curriculum you're supposed to be teaching, okay? So after 2 weeks, I get tight. I'm in economics one day, and I think, I think we were watching either Enemy of the State or Eagle Eye in class. And I remember I went up to my teacher, and we're going to call him Spy because we really did think he was a spy in school. So I go to Spy, I'm like, yo, Spy, can I talk to you outside for a second? He goes, yeah, Star, what's up? We go outside, and I'm like, so Lizzie Rumor was me. He was like, what? I said, yeah, Lizzie Rumor was me. He was like, so you did all the rumor pages? I said, no. Lizzie Rumor was me. I did 1 rumor page. The last rumor page was me. He's like, you're lying. I said, I promise you, Spy, it really was me. So he goes, you know what you gotta do, right? I said, yeah, I gotta go turn myself in. And I don't respect people who snitch on themselves, but me at this point, like, I'm just trying to get my education. My mother's not about to spend and waste money on school fees for me to come to school and not get educated, right? So I felt that he told me that I needed to go talk to my trig teacher, because my trig teacher was the mother of the girl who I spoke about and said that wanted to get by one of these boys in my class. So I went upstairs and I said to her, I was like, we're gonna call her Burger. I went up to her and I'm like, Burger, can I talk to you for a second? And she's like, yeah, what's up? I said, I was Lizzie Rumor. And she goes, what? I said, yeah, Lizzie Rumor was me. And she's like, you're lying. I said, I promise you, I'm not lying. Like, that was me. She goes, why would you do that? I said, for 3 years, I've been getting bullied at this school. I'm tired. And I know that although, like, posting rumors and stuff, it wasn't even rumor, it was dead-ass facts, okay? It was dead-ass facts. Posting facts on a rumor page wasn't the right way to go about things, but how exactly does a person go about getting things corrected and getting things sorted out for them when they go to the people that's in charge and they do absolutely nothing? I was like, it was a last resort, to be honest. So I turned around and she was like, well, now you have to go tell the principal. I said, I know, I just have to come talk to you first, because I feel like it's better for it to come out of my mouth to tell the parents before I go and turn myself to the principal. That was just my thought process. I get downstairs and I go to the principal's office. Come to find out, Mr. Bob left already. So now I had to go to the vice principal. And the vice principal was my English teacher. And the teacher came for me one day. That's going to be another story time. But the teacher came for me one day and tried to call me a hoe in front of the whole class. And I had to clip it on her because, no, bye, see you never. This is not a thing. You're not going to disrespect me when you don't know the Carfax. I set her straight. So I go to the VP and I'm like, we're going to call her Buzz Lightyear. That's the only thing that came into my head. So I go to Buzz Lightyear and I'm like, can I talk to you for a second? She's like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, by this point, I didn't know that Berga had called all the teachers in the school from her class phone and put them on that Lizzie rumor was me. So basically me coming to Buzz Lightyear was pointless. So I was like, hey, I'm just coming to let you know that Lizzie rumor was me, and I'll be taking the fall for my actions because, you know, I'm just trying to get educated and I'm tired of coming to school and watching rumor videos. That's legit what I said to her. She goes, well, I just want to let you know, and she gets closer. She goes, I'm going to do everything in my power to get you expelled. And I looked her in the eye and I said, do your best. And I walked out her office, like, walked out. So I go upstairs and I'm in the locker room trying to get ready for my next class. And my two friends, the two girls that was intrigued with me, they come to me and they're like, oh, Star, you gotta leave right now. I'm like, leave? School's not done yet. It's not even 12 o'clock. It's not even 11 o'clock yet because school finished at 12:15. I was like, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. She goes, well, everyone knows. And they're coming to jump you. I said, jump who? They was like, Star, you really need to leave now. Like, they're mobbing after you. Like, they're all coming for you. I said, bro, I'm not going nowhere. They're like, no, Star, like, you really gotta go. Like, they're really about to beat your ass. I'm like, all right. They throw me my bag, my coat, everything, and I cut school. I went through the side door and I leave to go down the hill. Instead of taking the short way down, I took the long way down. Because had I took the short way, whoever was in the gym and had opened that back door because the door was open, whoever opened that back door would have seen me passing and all the kids would have mobbed after me. So I went the long way. I walked in front of the school, which was stupid because the principal could have looked out the window and saw me. I walked past the front of the school, walked to the end of the block, and made a left, and then walked through the other part of the hill. So I left the school that way. Get home. I don't tell my mother nothing because nobody calls my mom. Get to the house and I check the phones, everything. I check my mother's cell phone. I think I blocked the school number on her phone. And I'm like, Mommy, I want to switch schools. And she's like, what do you mean? When I say I never told my mom that I was getting bullied at school, like my sister knew, my aunts knew, but I never told my mom because like I never wanted my mom to worry about that. I never wanted to be the kid whose mother had to constantly come to school. Wow, that was spit, right? I never wanted to be the kid whose mom constantly came to the school to see like what's going on with her kid, why people bullying her kid, because everybody be like, yo, all she does is snitch, like she a little stool pigeon. And I didn't want that. So I didn't say nothing to her. So I came home, I was like, Mom, I want to leave the school. I don't want to come back. Like, I hate it here. And she's like, no, you gotta go. And she's like, no, you gotta go back there. I'm only keeping you in private school. I'm not putting you in public school, blah, blah, blah. And I really didn't, I mean, I did want to change my school and I was willing to sacrifice everything to go to public school because my rival high school, I definitely wasn't going there. I had beef with people at that school. Plus, the school was a firehouse. Like, I was not about to go to high school in a firehouse. No shade, no tea to anybody that I'm cool with that went to the firehouse, but I wasn't going there. So, I'm just trying to cop a plea. I turn around and I tell her everything about being bullied, but I don't tell her about the rumor page. So, I don't say nothing to her about that, and I'm just pleading and crying. I'm like, Mommy, I started looking for school. Bro, on my way back to Brooklyn, because my school was the last stop on the A train. So from 207 to my house, that's like an hour and 20-minute ride on the train. I'm literally, every stop we stop and there's service, I'm looking for schools to go to. I'm looking, like, I'm really Googling. When I say I had at least a list of like 10 schools to go to, I had a list, bro. So I'm like, Mom, here's a list of schools, like you can call them. They said that they have like late admission because I know it's November. Like, please, can we do this? She's like, no, you're going back to your school. So now Monday I go back to school and my god brother, I'm not calling names, my god brother, when I was going to the principal's office, because I had to go back to the office to actually talk to the actual principal. So when I go back down there to talk to Mr. Bob, I see my god brother coming with me and I'm like, bro, why are you here? He's like, oh, I was one of the rumor pages. I'm like, are you shitting me? No, you're not. He was like, yeah, I was one of the rumor pages. I'm like, nah, bro, you're not dead ass. He was like, no, I really was. And he was like, the rumor page, because it was a rumor page. And it made sense after he said which rumor page he was, because there was a girl that he had talked about. And I remember one day he was like, yo, she hides her fat well. And I'm sitting there like, yo, why didn't I put this together? And then on top of that, he was the person that was in the house with our god sister, well, his cousin, but she's my god sister and his god sister too. And he was like, what did he say? We were talking about rumor pages, how her school, how E Hall had done rumor pages, and then all of a sudden, like, he started doing the rumor pages. So I'm guessing, I don't know how many rumor pages he did, so I'm not gonna jack it and say he did multiple, but I know about the one he did because he told me in front of the office. So I'm like, nah, you shitting me, you ain't do the rumor page. He was like, nah, Star, I really did the rumor page. I'm like, Lord. So we go into the office one by one. I went to the office first and I told the principal. He was like, well, we're gonna have to call your parents now, and then we're gonna have to set up a meeting for tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Go home. My mother's like, yo, why would you do this? I told her about my lucky getting flooded out. I told her everything. Again, what I told her on Friday, I was like, what I told you Friday is exactly why I did the rumor page. And the nail on the coffin was when the person had flooded out my locker and ruined my final, my art final. So she's like, but that's not a cause. Like, you can go to the principal. I said, Mom, go to the principal so he can offer to buy me lunch. Like, that's not what I want. Like, first of all, I never got my $100 back. Never got my money that got stolen after the $100. Never got my gym uniform back. Never got my uniform fixed. Nothing. Like, even the girl who ate my iPod, if you watch that story time, you already know. So, like, I'm gonna leave my other story times about this school underneath this story in the description box, by the way, BT dubs. So I'm like, Ma, I just want to leave. Like, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to come to the school. We don't really got to go to this meeting. She's like, no, we're going to the meeting. I'm like, oh, Lord, why we got to go? So Tuesday comes, we pull up to school bright and early. We had to be there for, what, 7 o'clock? Mind you, school don't start till 8 o'clock, 8:15. I think. Is it 8:15? No, 8:07. So I'm like, we pull up to school, waiting outside the office. At this point, you know, word flows from here and there, buzzing, whatever. Everybody knows that I did a room page, but they don't know why my god brother's outside of the office, because, like, he kept his ish on the low. So we sitting outside waiting. I'm the one to go into the office first. I think I went to the office first. Went into the office first, and I see the teacher whose daughter I spoke about, and I'm like, no, she gotta go. I was like, Miss Berger gotta go. They're like, why she gotta go? I said, this is a conflict of interest, because anything that is said in this meeting, she's going to be biased because I spoke about her daughter on the page. So they're like, we can't kick her out. She's part of the board, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, you guys can confer together after the meeting. I don't want her in here. You thought they listened to me? No. So I'm sitting in the office, and they're like, oh, we need to pray or whatever. I went to a Christian school. So, like, we need to pray. So everybody had to hold hands. Bro, I didn't hold nobody's hand. I just stood there like this because now I'm tight. Like, y'all ignoring me. Y'all not kicking this teacher out who has a conflict of interest. Like, I deadass spoke about her daughter on the page, and y'all got her in here. Like, and the same other teacher who I spoke about and said that needed to have sex, they had her in the room too. So, like, now I'm really tight. So I'm sitting there, and this is when Blackberries were popping. First of all, I didn't even think about somebody doing this. So I'm sitting down. One more thing. Out of all 4 of the rumor pages, my page was the only page that was deleted. After my page was deactivated, the other 3 pages were still up. Like, they never deleted their accounts, nothing. But they did slowly start, like, fading out, fading away. So I turned around, and they're, like, asking questions. Oh, so you did the other 3 pages? I said, nope, Lizzie rumor was just me. I was like, I'm not admitted to doing no other pages if I didn't do it. Like, I know what I did, and I know what I didn't do. So now, some bati hole at this school, I think it was, I probably want to say it was the teacher's daughter. I really believe it was her. So they pulled out receipts on the girl. Like, they pulled out receipts on me, bro. Like, they had receipts. They had all the Carfax lined up for me. So they pull out the Carfax, and it was basically screen munches. So I'm guessing whoever did the screen munches, they screen munched on their Blackberries, emailed it to themselves, and then printed it out to school. So they had all the screen munches of all 40 comments, all 40 statuses that I posted in regards to the rumors that I posted about everybody. So I'm sitting here like, yo, are y'all shitting me? Like, y'all really y'all really screen munch and printed out what I said. In my head, I was like, yo, honestly, I could really get off scotch-free because they can't trace my IP address. They can't trace nothing. The page is gone. But they had Carfax, like. So this principal deadass sat down on my face and read off all 40 of the posts that I posted up there. He was like, you really said this? I said, yes, I did. Yeah. Why would you do that, Star? I said, because, and I called off all the incidents where my boots got water poured in them, the 3 times my locker got flooded, my gym uniform getting stolen, my uniform getting drenched, my textbooks getting stolen, my homework getting thrown out, and teachers saying I'm not turning in homework, all of this. The girl eating my iPod, like every single thing. I repeat to him verbatim, and I'm like, y'all never did nothing for me. So me turning around and using this as an outlet to like express my anger, he said, yo, but why would you make up lies? I said, they're not lies. They're not lies. I said, I have no reason to lie about anything. These are not lies. These are all dead-ass facts. I didn't say dead-ass facts to the principal because that would be rude. But I was like, no, these are all legitimate, like, real. And then he was like, even the one, because there was one about this girl who had sex at a party, and he was like, even this one? I said, yes. He said, but you weren't at the party. I said, but my bros were. And then he's like, you know, people do lie. I said, I do believe that. I said, but I also heard the girls talking about having sex at this party. He's like, how did you hear that? I said, although I'm never in, I mean, I don't want to say I'm in the mix, but I wasn't mixy in high school. People just always had my name in their mouth, and it always turned into an argument. And I'm not the one to like let arguments slide. You feel me? So like, I guess you could say I wasn't mixy, but then again, I stood up for myself. So if that's mixy, I guess I was mixy. I don't know. So he's like, but you doing hearsay, she said. I said, if it wasn't true, they wouldn't be upset. Fact or fact. So then he's like, well, you seem a little bit angry. I said, I'm angry because of everything else over the course of 3 years that you've never dealt with, that you've never addressed, that you've never tried to help me with. So this man turns to me and tells me, in order for you to stay in this institution, first of all, he was like, we were on to you, pushback. He was like, we were on to you. We knew that it was you all along. I said, no, you didn't. He goes, we had the FBI tracking. We had the FBI tracking to see whose IP address this was. I said, that's a lie. I said, because if y'all can't turn the heat, pay the bills to turn the heat on in this school, y'all already got money to pay the feds to try and figure out whose IP address was talking about somebody's doing and talking about teachers and talking about other people. Nah, bro. So my main problem in life is, like, I really have an answer for everything, and it really gets me into trouble sometimes. So, like, when he's trying to say all these things to me, I'm coming back with the comebacks. Like, my comebacks are always quick. So he turns to me, he goes, you know what? This is your punishment. He said, we're going to suspend you for, was it a week? No, for 4 days. We're going to suspend you for 4 days, and you also have to issue a public apology to the entire school, and you have to attend anger management classes. When he said anger management classes, I lost it. I turned to my mother and said, Mom, I'm not doing this. I said, you're going to have to find me another school today because I'm not doing anger management. I'm sorry. He goes, well, you seem to be very angry. I said, no, I'm pissed. There's a difference. He's like, well, in order for you to stay in our school, you have to do anger management. And you have to apologize to everyone. I said, I only talked about 40 people. Why am I apologizing to the whole school? Our school had, like, I want to say 150 kids. I said, why am I apologizing to the whole school when I only spoke to about 40 people? He goes, well, that's what you got to do. Bro. So after, and this day, I think, was it chapel? Yes, it was chapel. So after my meeting, my god brother went into the office, had his meeting, whatever happened. He got punished as well. And he also had to issue an apology. They didn't tell him anything about anger management, though. Which, like, I really feel like they was really on my body and they was really trying to get me to admit to all these pages when I only did one. So after the meeting, we had to go in to the gymnasium where chapel was being held, and we had to apologize in front of the whole school. So I had to apologize first because my god brother wasn't going to apologize first. And when I picked up the mic, I honestly laughed in the mic. I know that was an asshole thing to do, but I really did laugh in the mic. So I laughed in the mic, And I was like, to everyone that something along the lines of, to everyone that I've hurt or offended by my Lizzie rumor page, I'm sorry. And this one girl, I think she was a senior, this one girl who's a senior, she was like, I didn't hear you. And I turned in the mic, I said, I'm not repeating myself. I was like, I'm not repeating myself. And she's like, that wasn't a real apology. I said, well, this is all y'all gonna get. Like, y'all been treating me like shit for 3 years. I didn't say that, but I'm saying this now. Like, y'all haven't really been treating me like shit for 3 years. And the moment I turn back and I retaliate, everybody want to play victim, this, that, and the third. But when y'all was victimizing me and treating me like trash, like, it was cool. Nah, bro. So after that, I got my suspension. I was home. I was really chilling. I mean, mom took my phone away, but I was really chilling. Like, I didn't care. Went back to school. After that, when I say, oh, this was the topping on the cake, I forgot. At the end of my rumor page, I have to do another story time now. At the end of my rumor page, I signed off. I was like, sincerely, this other one, we're going to call him Johnny. I need to remember this name. We're going to call him Johnny. I said, sincerely, Johnny Taylor. I'm going to name him Johnny Taylor. And the reason why I did that is because Johnny Taylor had did something to me. So I'm going to have to do another story time with that. And that story time coincides with what the vice principal said and did to me. So, and because I was so upset, like, I really signed it Johnny Taylor. And I mean, that was the worst thing to do. Granted, Johnny and I are cool now. Like, shout out, bro. Like, we're cool now. We done apologize. I apologize. He apologized to me for what he did to me. And the beef is squashed. But at that point in time, like, I was really, really, really hurt and really upset. Like, blamed it on Johnny. So when I came back to school, nobody was effing with me. Nobody was messing with me. Nobody was talking to me. And I don't want to say people were actually shook, but, like, I've seen people in school get in trouble, and it's like they care what everybody else has to say, whatever I think. I'm the type of person, like, I don't care how you feel about me. I don't care if you like me, you don't like me. Everybody in this life is not going to like you. And to think that way, that people will always like you, is a foolish way of living. So coming back to school, anybody that had a problem with me that said something to me, my mouth was active. I was quiet before, but my mouth was active. So from that point in junior year to senior graduation, nobody was really messing with me for real. It wasn't until, like, senior year that I really, like, had friends again. Not that it really mattered, but after that, like, I came back to school. I had to go to anger management. I'm gonna do a story on my anger management. And yeah, so basically, this is the lesson I want you guys to learn from this situation. I know that sometimes, like, the adults that are in charge don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Don't be afraid to tell your parents what's going on. Don't be afraid to tell your parents that you're being bullied. Don't be afraid to tell your parents that you're being targeted, that people are doing things to you, that you're being robbed, that people are stealing from you, that people are throwing out your homework. Don't be scared. Open your mouth, because it's not fair to you to have to sit down and hold all of this in, and then when one thing happens, you explode and take it out on everyone. Like, it's not fair. Do I regret posting people's business online through a fake page? Absolutely. Could this have all been avoided? Absolutely. Do I think that it was terrible for me to lie to my mom about, like, why I wanted to leave school? Absolutely. It was wrong. Like, I should have just told her, because, I mean, I'm always honest with my mom, but in that situation, she just really wanted me to have a Christian education, and I didn't really understand that at the time. So, because I've never been in public school. I've always been, I went from charter school to Christian school. So it's like, that's all I knew. Uniform all the time, praying before classes, praying after classes, chapel, the whole shebang. Like, that's all I knew. So me wanting to go to a public school, it kind of wouldn't have benefited me. Maybe not, I don't know, because my other friends were in public school. Out of all my friends, it was just me and, like, 2 other friends that were in private school. So, I mean, at the same time, I don't recommend anybody becoming a cyberbully or doing cyberbullying activities. Do I consider what I did cyberbullying? Not necessarily, because I didn't really, like, do anything like 13 Reasons Why. I didn't do no shit like that. Like, nobody committed suicide. People was just real life tight. the school that I went to, like, it's a bunch of Christian kids, and everybody got mouth until they're actually addressed. And I never really liked that. Like, if you gonna have mouth on Facebook throwing subs at people, have mouth when you see me in real life. Like, you see me and you don't speak, like, what's really good? Like, let me know. So I wasn't right for being, I don't want to call it cyberbullying, but I'm gonna name the story cyberbullying. So I wasn't really right for my actions. Did I feel like I was justified? Absolutely, because I told the principal never did anything. I addressed teachers, addressed other people, nobody did anything for me, so I just took matters into my own hands. I don't recommend that. Don't do it. Do not follow in my footsteps, because you could be the wrong person and do something like this, and your ass get arrested. By God's grace, I didn't get arrested, but you could get arrested. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't fight people's kids either. Like, fighting doesn't solve anything. We live in a day and age where people are recording fights all the time. People are bringing knives and weapons to school. In my high school years, nobody's bringing weapons to school. I mean, we did have occasional people who had brought weapons to school, but it was nothing drastic. Like, bro, don't do it. Don't do the cyberbullying thing, because people do stuff for social media attention now. In my time, like, clout wasn't really a big thing, but in 2018, like, people really care about clout. People really care about followers. People really care about all this nonsense, and it's not going to benefit you in the long run. Honestly, it can mess up your chances of getting a job, being a business owner, all these other things and great opportunities that you can have for yourself in the future. So think wisely before you make choices and act on things. But yeah, this was a time that I was a cyberbully. Feel free to leave below, you know, your comments on how you felt about my action in the story, what you would have done otherwise. If you feel like I was wrong in the situation, just leave a comment below. And if you guys want to see more story times from me, you guys want me to do any kind of videos, leave that below too. Don't forget, like, click that subscribe button below, hit on that bell so you can be notified every single time that I drop a video. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys, and I'll definitely catch you guys in my next video. Later.